And let's start as we always do in Shavasana. I am going to suggest a little bit more of an active grounding. So something under your head just to cushion the back of your skull. If you have 2 blocks or 2 pillows, I think most of you have 2 blocks, we're going to be in supine bound angle, Baddha Konasana. So that's with our heels together, toes, big toes touching, our knees apart. This is where your 2 blocks or 2 pillows, if you don't have 2 blocks, but I believe most of you do, underneath your knees, okay? Laying down. And then once you're on your back and settling in here, move the blocks, move the supports under your thighs to a place where you're not going to feel too much of a deep stretch. You want an opening, definitely, but not a pulling, not an ache, definitely nothing piercing. Something that you can be comfortable laying in for about 2-3 minutes. While we do a little pranayama, some breathing. And if you find that maybe you've started off a little too open, that's okay, adjust it. Bring the knees up. So the further the knees are up in towards the midline, the more gentle the opening and stretch will be, which is a wonderful thing for the beginning of practice. Okay? You know me by now. What I'm going to say is leave the ego at the door. Your eyes will gently close if that feels right. Slowing down your breath. If you still cannot find comfort in this pose, adjust anything that you need to adjust to find that ease. Your palms will be open, facing up towards the sky, towards the sun. Receiving even more energy. Your eyes gently closed. Let's just start with a body scan. Just noticing our toes touching one another. The sides of our feet connecting to the ground. The heels of both feet connecting to one another. Our ankles, pardon me, moving up towards our shins and the back of our legs, our calf muscles. Our left knee, our right knee. Tops of our thighs, our big, large quad muscles, beautiful quad muscles that hold us up, allow us to walk and jump and dance. Our back muscles, our hamstrings as well. Moving to our glutes. Pelvis, the front of our hips, Sending breath into any of these areas where there may be sensations, body parts that are maybe holding a little bit more tension, stress. Moving towards our low back, our mid back, traveling up our spine to our upper back, cervical spine, our neck. Noticing our fingers, the back of our hands, touching and connecting to the ground. Our palms open, facing up to the sky, our wrists. Sending gratitude and being full of, our heart full of gratitude for our hands and everything that they do for us throughout the day. Our forearms, our elbows. Feeling the bony landmarks of our elbows connecting into the ground, traveling up to our triceps behind our arms, and then our biceps at the front, our shoulders. Traveling up to the back of the skull, the occipital lobe connecting to the ground beneath you. Traveling over the head, passing by the crown, landing to the spot between our eyes, our third eye, our intuition, wisdom, and sound. Our two eyes, our beautiful cheekbones, our nose, our strong jaw, our mouth, our chin. Our throat, opening up our throat chakra. That's where our voice comes from. Traveling down our chest, our heart, our beautiful heart, our rib cage, all the organs found in the beautiful center of our body, sending lots of love and gratitude and positive energy to each one of those organs. Digestive system, the lungs, the respiratory system, so many kidneys, liver, for all the work that they do for us. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, let it out. Opening up your eyes and placing your hands under your thighs and helping your knees to move in towards the center. Removing the props to the side, walking the feet a little closer in towards the glutes. Bring the knees into your chest and just allow yourself to rock side to side, hugging your knees into your chest. Maybe you bring your nose up to your knees, curling up into a nice tight ball, really rocking. Excellent. When you're ready, placing the hands underneath your thighs and just rocking. If it feels right in your body today, just rocking up and down your spine. Do that about 4 or 5 times. And coming up into seated. Let's take a moment here. Inhaling, coming through center, exhaling, rounding the back. Inhaling, exhaling. Really exaggerating that circle. Move the hips. Lift the hips off one side. Play around with your balance. And if you fall over, pick yourself back up and keep going. And switching directions. Really bringing the chest down as far as you can and reaching as far back with your back. A couple more in this direction. Nice. Coming through the center, placing the hands, coming into a table as we move through some cat and cow. So inhaling, opening up the chest. Exhale. Hug your belly in towards your spine. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Walk the hands out just a little bit, maybe a half hand's length, a little further in front. And just inhale, reaching over, just coming over the hands just a little bit, not too far over the wrist. Exhaling, rounding the back and pushing, not quite all the way into child's pose. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, cat. Cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, let the belly drop. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, you can bend the elbows. And exhale, round the back. A couple more. Probably can go a little further back, a little further forward. Making it fluid. Sitting back, come all the way back. Toes are curled. Toes are curled. And sit all the way back. Feel a nice, deep stretch in the toes. That should feel good. Place the hands down, curl the toes, lift the knees up. Find yourself in a bear. Engage the core. Send the sit bones back, send the sit bones back, send the sit bones back, and then send them up. Keep a nice bend in your knees. Just allow your legs to pedal back and forth. As always, with our first downward dog, make it your own. Move through it. Maybe moving the hips from side to side. Walk the feet in a little closer. See how that feels. Take a half a step in closer, and then come back to where it feels. You usually set up, check out that your hands are right. So curling the back, flowing through into a high plank, bend the knees, come back into sort of a cow position, send the hips up. So kind of what we were just doing on our knees. So cat and cow, but bringing in bear, high plank, and downward dog. So moving the spine. Coordinating with the breath. Inhale and exhale. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Bring your knees down, followed by your chest and chin. Planting your hands, cactus arms. Fingers are tented. Inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale, releasing. Bring the hands a little bit closer to you. Inhale, each one, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Check that your shoulders are not creeping up. Maybe now underneath the shoulders. Inhale, and exhale. A little closer towards the chest. Inhale, and exhale. Maybe down by the ribs, coming into an up dog. And if you're in up dog, holding here, you can leave the thighs down on the ground. Check that the arms are straight, chest is open. You can lift the thighs if you want, resting on the tops of your feet. Holding here. Feel your strength. Tap into that energy that you have stored. Anything that you need to burn off, here it is. Frustrations, complaints, let it out. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, curling over the toes, pushing into downward dog. Holding here. Pedaling at your feet. You'll be here for 5 breaths. For 3 or 4 of those breaths, you hold in stillness. Find your down dog. Just hold. Breathe. Maybe close your eyes. Do you ever close your eyes when you're in downward dog? Try it. If you don't. Taking a deep inhale. Come to your toes. Bend your knees. Step, hop, walk to the front of your mat. Find yourself folded forward. Clasp opposite elbows. Crown of your head is reaching to the ground. Keeping a slight bend in your knees. Swaying the hips from side to side. Just moving like a rag doll. When you're ready, planting the fingers down, either on your shins or on the mat, coming up into a half bend, half fold. Chin is tucked, gaze is right down, just at the top of your mat. Exhale, release that. Inhale, reach the arms up, looking up to the sky, giving thanks. Exhale, your hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching, maybe a slight back bend. Exhale, coming through center, down. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. Planting the left hand adjacent to the right foot, opening up here. You can always bring the knee down or keep it up. Can you hug your right knee in towards the center, towards the midline, as well as engage your extended leg, the thigh, in towards the midline. So both legs are hugging in towards the midline. Breathing here. Pushing the mat away. Breathing, take a deep inhale, exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Holding here. Feel the engagement in your belly. You can come through your chaturanga, you can bring your knees down, hugging your elbows, chest and chin, opening up into up dog. Take a deep inhale, exhale, curling over the toes into downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Open up the knee, open up the hip. Reach the heel. See if you can reach your glute. That's okay if you don't. Square up the hips. Straighten out the leg. Square up the knee. Straighten up, bend the knee. Hover, hover. Come to the center. Hover, hover. Hold it. Feel the strength. And plant the foot down. If you have to help your foot forward, wonderful, that's okay. Open up. Hug the knee and extend the leg in towards the midline. Plant the hand, step back to plank, come through your chaturanga, however way that looks. Into your back bend, find yourself in your downward dog. Breathing there. Lift the right leg up again, opening up the hip. Breathing here. Hug the knee in towards the center, bring it through. This time you can leave the knee down if you'd like to get your balance. Otherwise, come straight up into a high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Crescent pose. Remember, both legs are on 2 different tracks. Arms are above. Shoulders are reaching down though. Bring the hands down. Step back to plank. Bring the knees down, followed by the chest and chin. Opening up into upward dog. Curling over the toes into downward dog. Holding here. Or coming into child's pose. Breathing here. Take a deep inhale, come to your toe step, hop walk to the front of the mat, folded forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the hands and step the right hand back. The right. If you can step the right hand back, awesome. We'll step the right leg back. Planting the right hand. I think that's the opposite, right? Yes. Opening up on the left side. Hugging the left knee in towards the midline. Lift the thigh of the extended leg. Try not to drop or keep the leg down. And maybe for the first one you do. That's okay. We're going to come back to this a few times. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, plant the hand, step back to plank. Hold here. Push the mat away. Round the shoulders. Heels are reaching to the other end of the room. Thighs are engaged. Pulling up towards the sky. Coming through your chaturanga, you can bring your knees down, followed by the chest and chin, hugging your elbows in, opening up into your back bend. And exhale over your toes into downward dog. Breathing here. Inhale, lift and lengthen the left leg. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Reach the heel to the glutes on this side. Breathe there. Square up the hips, bring the knee in towards the chest as you hover and come towards a high plank, holding here for a moment, and then bring the leg down. You can always walk the leg a little forward. Adjust your position and then open up again. Breathe here. Inhale, gratitude. Exhale, complaints. And release. Bring the hand down. Coming through your chaturanga. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, come into downward dog. Inhale the left leg up again. Open up the hip. Check that you have downward dog shoulders though, so that you're not twisting. I like to twist with that leg when we open it up. And when you're ready, hug the knee in, walk it to the front of the mat. Check that you're on 2 tracks. You can either bring the knee down and come into lunge here, and then stand up into high lunge. Anjaneyasana on this side. Breathe. Body's heating up. Using this energy for movement. Burning up anything that we don't need. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. You can come into child's pose or meet in downward dog for 5 breaths. Or do half child's pose and half downward dog. Breathing here, slowing down. Find rest in this pose. When I take these classes with my other teachers, and especially the high energy ones where it's a, kind of a power flow, I relish these and love these moments that I get in downward dog. I find them to be restful. Close your eyes. Getting a little bit more here than 5 breaths. So take in a deep inhale. Come to your toes. Bend your knees. Step, walk, hop to the front of the mat. Find yourself folded over. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up top. Exhale, your hands to heart center. Lovely. Inhale, reach your hands up. Reach the sit bones back. Reach the sit bones back. Nice. You can keep your hands here at your heart center, or you can keep them up by your ears. Up to you. Yogi's choice. Reach the sit bones back. Play around with the weight. Lean forward, and see where you feel more of the tension, where you feel more of the work. Lean forward on the toes. Now lean back. As far as you can, you don't lose your balance. And if you're not sure, do it again. Come out of it a little bit. Come out of it, shake it out. Come back down. Bring your arms down, sometimes that'll take away. But I want you to, I've talked about this before in class, just a little teaching moment here. So lean forward. The knees can come over the toes. No harm. Where do you feel the work? Now rock back to the heels. I know the thighs are on fire. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. We're going to come back to that. Step back to plank. Holding here. Hug the belly in. Hug the belly in. You can always bring the knees down. We hold this for 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees down, followed by the chest and chin. And just find yourself down here for a moment. Resting your forehead on your hands, acting like a pillow. Move the hips from side to side. Take a moment here. All right. Slow down your breath. Place your forehead on the mat and bring your arms to face one another alongside your body. Taking a deep inhale, lift the shoulders and chin and raise the arms. Toes are pointing, still leave them on the mat. Breathing here. If it feels good and comfortable, try raising your toes. Reach the fingertips towards your toes. Reach the toes away. They don't want to be reached by the fingertips, so reach the legs out to the other end of the room, and the fingertips are following. Breathe here. You can hug the belly in a little bit towards the spine. Wonderful. Just a little bit. Taking a deep inhale, and on your exhale, release. Laying your cheek, one cheek, left or right, down on the ground. Maybe moving the hips gently from side to side. I'm going to come back to that. So moving your head back to center. Taking a deep inhale as you peel your shoulders off the mat. Opening up the heart center, reaching the hands back. When you're ready, raising the feet, raising the legs, lifting the thighs. Chin is tucked, your gaze is just above the top of your mat. Breathing here. Feeling the strength in your core, back muscles of your core. You lift the legs a little bit higher, reach the feet a little further away. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, release, placing the opposite cheek down on the mat. Slight release of the hips side to side. When you're ready, placing your hands under your shoulders, coming onto your toes, pushing yourself into high plank as gracefully as possible and into downward dog. Take a moment here. You may have to move a little bit, whatever it is you need. Come to your toes, inhale, bend your knees, find yourself at the front of the mat, fold it over. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, exhale, release. Inhale, bend, reach your sit bones back, sweep your arms up, either a prayer by our heart center or reaching by our ears. And one more time, let's explore our fierce pose. Coming over onto the toes. You should feel more of the work on the front of the legs and the quads, the tops of the thighs. Reaching and sitting more back in the heels, your glutes and your hamstrings should be the ones that are engaged here. Still feel it in your thighs, but if you're leaning back more on the heels, it's more in the back body. And coming up, and heads to heart center. Shake that out. We good? Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, reach the sit bones back. Finding yourself again in a fierce pose. Tapping into that fierceness that I know each one of you have. Oh, I know. And when you're ready, reaching forward, folding over. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back to plank. Holding here. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale, coming through your chaturanga. Finding yourself in up dog. Inhale, exhale, curling over your toes into downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, opening up the hip. Taking a moment here. Bringing it through to center, hugging the knee in, planting it down. And just check the alignment of your legs here. And when you're ready, sweep the arms up. Breathing here, finding your balance. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, hinging at the hips, sweeping the arms back like you're holding a cape. Belly is hugging in towards the spine. Inhale back up. Exhale, little back bend, opening up the heart center. Challenging the balance here. Inhale, come back into center. Exhale, folding, hinging at the hips. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, opening up to cactus arms, little back bend. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Bring the knees down, chest and chin. Open up the heart center. Exhale into downward dog. Inhale the left leg up, opening up your hip on this side. Taking a moment here. We're bringing the knee into your chest, hovering the knee, guiding it to the front of the mat. Check the alignment of your feet. They're on two different tracks. Once you have your balance, coming up into a high lunge. Breathing here. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward, holding onto your imaginary cape here that we all have, the superheroes we all are. Inhale up, exhale, cactus arms, opening up the heart center, middle back bend. Inhale up, exhale, hinge. Inhale up, exhale, and coming down into high plank, coming through your chaturanga, your back bend, meeting in downward dog or child's pose. Which pose do you need right now to find some ease and some rest? For 5 breaths. Slowing down the breath. Meeting in downward dog if you took child's pose. Come to the toes, step, walk, hop. Find yourself at the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, release. Reach the sit bones back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time you choose, yogi's choice. Do you want to feel the weight in the front? Feel the work in the front? Or do you want to lean back? Whichever one you choose, commit to it for 3 breaths. And then lower down into the sit bones a little bit further. When you're done your 3 breaths, lead up, slight back bend. And exhale your hands to heart center. Nice. Release that. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step back with your left foot. Plant the left hand. Opening up here. On the right. Right knee is forward. Just gonna switch here. You can bring the knee down. Up to you. Now what I'm gonna ask you to do is to open up the right leg here. So the knee. So I'm coming onto the outer edge of my right heel, my right foot. Okay, and it's actually not a bad idea to bring the knee down. And just feel a nice opening here. You don't have to bring the element of balance into this, as I would rather you explore the opening in the hip, the external rotation here. If you want to play around with the balance for a bit, by all means. Opening up here. Bring the foot back. Grab a block if you have, or 2. Just bring them, we're probably going to be using them. Plant both hands on the inside of your foot, your right foot, that's at the front of your mat. And can you connect your shoulder to your right knee? Okay, so push the right knee into your right shoulder. That's the connection I want. So I'm no longer open. I'm back with the knee pushing in to the midline. Okay? Now you can lift the left leg up if you'd like, but continue to push the right knee into the right shoulder. Wonderful. Now this is where you can bring a block or 2 into play. And I want you to come a little bit lower and explore your lizard. Okay? It's going to look different in each one of us. But I want you to continue to push this right knee into that shoulder, even if you drop the shoulder. Okay? I suggest to start with the knee down and set all this up and feel at ease with all this at the front. Okay? Because that's where the work is. And if you want to bring in the balance, okay. But make sure this stuff here at the front of the mat and at the top of the mat is not being compromised. Chin is tucked. You want to walk the hands out. A little bit added. Next level work. When you're ready, grabbing the blocks, counter that pose, and just bring the heel down and the toes up and sitting back, but don't sit back. You know me by now, I like to use my blocks to create more space and more of an opening. And then it allows me to bring my chest down. Toes are reaching towards my nose. If you have 2 blocks, I'm gonna throw this in for my lovely yogi friend Dimitra, who's practicing tonight. I invite you to just walk that front leg out any amount. I like to start with my blocks on the high. Walk that leg straight out. Then you can walk the back leg out any amount. And finding yourself in your version of your splits. Breathing here. And being proud of your accomplishment, whatever it looks like. And to come out of that, just lean back. Bring the leg back to center. Just find your hands planted at the front of the mat. Push into a high plank. That should feel good. Bring the knees wide and open and the big toes touching, and just push back into Balasana, Child's Pose. If you have a block close by, bring it to the front of your mat. You can have 2 if you've got 2. 1 will work. Place one hand on one and one hand on the other. Just a nice little bit of work for our shoulders here. Heart is reaching towards the ground. Maybe the forehead touches the ground. Maybe your heart center touches the ground. And maybe it doesn't. Nice. Coming through. Move the blocks to the side. Pushing into downward dog. Just noticing how the right side feels compared to the left. I love noticing the differences. When you're ready, bring the left foot forward. And just finding yourself down here. You can again start with the right leg up. So left foot is forward, just moving through on the other side. You can open up here just for a brief moment. And then now opening up the knee on the left side. And again, you can bring the knee down or keep the knee up. I like to place my hand on the top of the knee. You can see that. I'll switch sides here. I like to place my hand on top of the knee just to gently guide it even open even more. Nice. Now finding your hands on the inside of your foot. And again, pushing your left knee into your left elbow. If you need your blocks, have them close by. Or when we explore lizard on this side, maybe play around with the balance and lift your leg, or you keep it down. Up to you. Just keep engaging the left knee into the left shoulder. You can stay here, or if it's available to you, coming down a little bit lower on this side. The knee and shoulder still pushing into one another. Exploring lizard on this side. And embracing the differences. Maybe you're a little more open on this side. Maybe you're a little more open on the other side. It's okay. Keep the left knee engaged and towards the shoulder. My left knee wants to keep opening up. Breathe. Breathe through any discomfort. Nice. Grabbing your blocks. And opening up the hamstring on this side. Can you drag the left heel in towards your body? Add that little bit of tension. Toes are reaching towards your nose. Excellent. And explore the splits on this side. Just walk the front leg out to where it wants to land. And breathe. Wherever you are in this pose, breathe. And if you've chosen to do another pose, I salute you. But don't shy away from challenges or already let the negative mindset say that you can't do this. And coming out of this, planting the hands, and step into downward dog. When you're ready, finding yourself at the front of the mat in the fold, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach the sit bones back. Exhale, bring your arms up. Finding your fierce pose. So whatever variation you chose last time, if you sat back in your heels, then this time do the opposite and lean forward in the toes and vice versa. Reach a little bit lower, sit a little lower, reach the sit bones back. Even if you're leaning forward, still can reach the sit bones back. And hold for 3 breaths. Hug the belly in. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, the arms up. And hands to heart center. Wonderful. Shake that out. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. Bring the left knee down. Inhale up to low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands to heart center. And a little twist here. So, meeting the elbow to the outside of the right knee. Keeping your hands at heart center. Okay, so that's what you want to try as opposed to up here or just at the heart center. You can stay here. You want to play with your balance. Breathing here. Bring the hands down. Step back to plank, followed by the knees, chest and chin. Take a moment here. Lay the hands along the side body. Coming back into locust, so taking a deep inhale, lifting up the shoulders and the arms and the legs. You can lift them a little higher. Breathing here. Squeezing at the glutes. Reaching the arms down, fingertips down towards your toes. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, release. Gonna come into bow. So bending the legs. And you can grab anywhere, maybe your shins, maybe your ankles, maybe the backs of your pants. Taking a deep inhale, lifting up the chest. And grabbing wherever you can. If it's available to you, maybe you lift up the thighs. Keep the thighs down and breathe here. It's a very deep back bend. Keep your gaze down just at the top of your mat. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, release, opposite cheek down. When you're ready, press the hands underneath your shoulders, pushing through plank into downward dog. When you're ready, come to your toes and just step the left foot to the front of the mat. Bring the right knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana here. Bring your hands to heart center during our twist on this side. So having the elbow meet the outside of your left knee, connecting here. If it feels right, maybe you lift the extended leg and explore balance on this side. Hug the belly in towards the spine, lift the thigh. Breathing here. When you're ready, put your hands down into plank. Moving through your chaturanga. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Opening up the chest. Exhale into downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, feed it through to the front of the mat. Placing the left foot down and setting your feet up for warrior legs. Warrior feet. Finding yourself in warrior two. And just adjusting your stance. Once here. Arms are active. Gaze is over your middle finger. Can you come a little lower, sit a little lower. Take a deep inhale, reaching back to reverse warrior. Exhale, coming through. Extended arm overhead, resting your forearm on the thigh. If you want, you can drop it down. Inhale to warrior two. Straighten out your leg. And reaching as if I'm pulling on your arm. Pulling. Don't change anything in your torso. Just drop the arm and open up. Breathing. Inhale, coming back up. If you have your blocks close by, that would be great. Just placing them at the top of the mat. Finding yourself into warrior two. When you're ready, bring the hands down and just stepping slowly, coming into warrior three, so hinging at the hips. And the blocks are here to rest the fingertips on. And raise, you may come out, raise the back leg, keeping the hips square. Maybe you lift the arms up. Breathing here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Come through your vinyasa, your chaturanga. Meeting in downward dog. Where we move through warrior on the other side. When you're ready, bring the left foot up. Inhale it to the front of the mat. Find your warrior feet. The heel lines up with the back foot. And just adjust accordingly. Breathing here. You sit a little deeper. Gaze over the middle finger. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, flowing to the front. Coming up into warrior two. Straighten the front leg. And just hinging, reaching as if someone's pulling that front arm. Coming into Trikonasana, triangle. Coming through to warrior two again. Now, stepping in a little bit and just hinging forward at the hips. Adjusting the blocks, lifting the back leg up. Try to keep the hips square. Maybe you raise the arms, maybe you raise one arm up. Play around with that. If you come out of it, it's okay. Just come back in. And you're going to shake, and that's okay. And plant the hands down, step into plank, and just push into downward dog. If you want to take a vinyasa, by all means. If you want to go into child's pose, please explore. It's our last downward dog for tonight. Coming into table and into child's pose, Balasana. And just rolling up very slowly. Wonderful. Let's find ourselves in Baddha Konasana, round angle. You can just flap your butterfly wing a little here. And when you're ready, just folding forward. So, trying to keep the spine straight, chin is slightly tucked, so no rounding of the back yet. We want to start with the work in the hips. So we want to start with the hinge at the hips. So keeping the back straight. Watch. Breathing here. Taking a deep inhale. Now exhale, you can round the back and tuck in the chin. And it's just exploring the stretch in a different area of your body. You still feel it in your hips, but now we're bringing in the thoracic, the upper back, the neck, the cervical spine. And slowly roll yourself up. You can grab your bolster without too much moving and find yourself slowly rolling back. And if there's any other pose that you need to do tonight before our last one, which is going to be the twist, but if you want to explore anything else, please do so. Extend your left leg out, clasping your right knee, crossing it over your left side body. Inhale your right knee through to center and just open it up a little on the other side just to counter that side and send it out to reach. Extend the other one, little windshield wiper motion before drawing in the left knee and crossing it over your right side body. Inhale your knee through center. Just opening it up on the other side and setting up for Shavasana. You can finish class with the way you started it in bound angle and supine Baddha Konasana if you'd like, or you can even do it with a bolster underneath your knees as well if you have one, or some large pillows. Up to you. How do you want your Shavasana to feel in your body? What do you need to close out for the next few moments? Deepening the breath. Bring some movement back into your body, however that looks for you. Maybe reaching the arms overhead and the toes and stretching them in opposite directions. Hugging your knees into your chest. Rocking side to side. Bring the feet into prayer feet and your hands into prayer hands and just rub them like so, vigorously. Rub, rub, rub. Picking up the nerve endings. Rub, rub, rub. And bring your hands just over your face and just feel that energy. And coming over to one side, taking a moment here. And gently pushing yourself up into a seated position just to close out tonight. Just giving your hips a little bit of height, sitting on a pillow or a block. And resting your hands either palms open on top of your knees or at your heart center. A little challenge I have for you this week, the next couple days, is when moments of complaining and complaints come up and surface, counter those complaints with statements of gratitude. So if it's something specific to yourself, a sore wrist or sore shoulder, can you turn that complaint around and rather turn it into a statement of gratitude about that sore shoulder? That, well, at least the rest of my arm works, or my right shoulder doesn't hurt, so I'm grateful for that. Or, and of course, if there's complaints about people or situations, again, countering those complaints with a statement of gratitude. And it has to be immediate. It can't be 5, 10 minutes, an hour later. So try to catch those moments where you're complaining about something. We all do. I'm just as guilty for that. Is immediately counter it with a statement of gratitude. I thank you for showing up this evening. Thank yourself for practicing. The teacher in me honors the teacher in each one of you. Namaste.